Hey, this is Rick. Welcome back to my channel. You're going to see some changes, and we're going to talk a little bit about where we are on my trip to get on the road. So stay tuned. So, welcome back. One of the things that you noticed, I'm sure, that I created a little bumper kind of thing there, a little intro thing. I'm going to get serious about this because I do want to document my process all the way through, and even when I get on the road, because I noticed personally that all the vlogs that I've seen have helped me in some way. Some of them give me really good advice. Some of them I've decided what not to follow, but everything's been helpful. So I want to be as helpful to other people who are going to try to make a change as everybody's been to me. So that's why this YouTube channel is changing. As you noticed, we went from talking about maybe it's time for a change to it's definitely going to time for a change to now got a new logo, got a new name, Duke City Devil Dog, Duke City Albuquerque Devil Dog, Marine Corps veteran. Just something to go by, something a cool logo to look at, and probably going to be when I get on the road. Probably going to be my handle, just because I come from that generation where that was one of the big things about trucking is having a CB, and I know from what I've read, less than 40% of truckers nowadays have a CB, but when I get on the road, this is going to be one that has one. So, looking forward to that. Just a couple of things. Just wanted to share with you briefly while I'm working to get to where I need to be. Um, I decided I was going to put everything into place so that I can get to where I want to go, and that is get into a school that's sponsored or paid for by one of the big carriers, and also to not to minimize the chance of getting sent home for some reason uh, that that maybe I can't control right there then and there. So there were two major carriers I'm looking at. One is Swift, and I know I've heard a lot of things about Swift, good and bad. But when I look overall and I look at that kind of stuff, I think the good definitely outweighs the bad. One of the things that I like is that they provide a 100% scholarship to veterans, not only veterans, but also veterans' spouse and veterans' children. So that's something that's going to save me a lot of money in the long run. And then the other company I'm looking at is Roehl, and I um, the first person I met that really got this idea of going trucking and getting on the road was a flatbed driver from Roehl. So that gave me a lot of interest, and even in flatbed. But I think I've decided that I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I mean, I'm not old by any means, but climbing up and down on a flatbed and securing stuff, at least to start, is not where what I want to do. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Swift. If you got any other ideas or any good suggestions, again, got to have a school that either you get paid while you're going there or has some kind of veteran scholarship kind of thing, something like that. If you have one of those or have an idea, leave it in the comments below because I'd love to hear it. But as far as getting ready for everything else, both Roehl and Swift and a number of other carriers have made sleep apnea a big deal. I mean, I know that I've read both at in both companies where they've sent people home that have been diagnosed with sleep apnea so that they can. It doesn't disqualify them, but they've got to treat it for a while and show that compliance. And anybody who's familiar with that, especially as far as trucking and these truck companies, knows that may not be easy. Plus, some of the companies require you to pay at least part of the cost of the if you need a CPAP machine and the supplies and all of that. Well, I'm a veteran and I get my health care through the VA, so that's what I'm doing now. Next week I've got an appointment so that I can get a machine so that I can do my sleep test at home. I have to do 2 nights for the VA, and then find out if, with a little bit of luck, I'll won't have sleep apnea, and I can, you know, move up my plans a little bit. If it goes bad, then at least 30 days of really making sure that I'm following that plan with the CPAP and being compliant should get me to where I want to go. Everything else seems pretty good as far as that. Um, I am making a plan. I do plan on doing the over the road thing, and because I love to drive and I love to plan, and I love to trip plan. Um, and I know it's going to be different, on the commercial side versus going on vacation or whatever. But I do love to trip plan. So um, I'm also planning on giving up my apartment. There's no sense in really having a place here if there's nobody here. So put away a little bit of money that way, uh, and that kind of thing. So I'm doing all of that stuff, starting to get stuff. I rented a storage place. I'm getting that stuff put away, and I'm really psyched about it. So I do want to share this as we go. I'm going to update this at least once or twice a week, especially if there's any updates or anything like that, just because I think it's important. You know, most of the stuff that I've seen has started when they've gone to either school and started their CDL school, if it's at one of the carriers, or when they've got started on their mentorship and that kind of stuff. I wanted to start a little bit earlier because I think it's important to see what this journey is, and that you're not alone in deciding this. Because for a lot of people, the decision and making that decision is one of the most important things. So um, do stay tuned. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell so that you get updates when I post them. And I look forward to having you with me on this journey. If you have any comments, questions, or again, suggestions about other carriers I should look at, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to find out what you think. And I will see you next time.